There is something I need to tell you. Something your heart may have waited for a long time to hear. You didn't deserve the pain. Not then, not now, not ever. That moment when I yelled at you for being too much, when no one noticed you were scared, when your tears were met with silence instead of arms wrapped around you. It wasn't your fault. And if no one ever told you this before, let me tell you for my first time. I see you, I believe you, and you never had to carry it all alone. Maybe you'd learn to be quiet, to be alone, to be isolated, to stay safe. Maybe you smiled when you wanted to cry, stayed calm when you were breaking inside, or helped everyone else just to be loved. And somehow, deep inside you decided that your pain didn't matter because no one showed you did. But your pain did matter. It matters now. Your story matters, and the little one inside of you, your inner child, is still waiting for you to come back and whisper, "You never did anything wrong." What if you knew deep in your bones that the parts of you that felt unworthy were never the truth? That child who didn't get held, who had to grow up too fast, who didn't feel safe to speak or cry or dream. That child is still inside of you, not broken, not too far gone, just waiting. Waiting to be seen, waiting to be loved, waiting for your own home. If you are ready to reconnect with your inner child, write "I am healing" in your mind. Let it be your soul's declaration. Today is the day you come home to yourself and stay with me, because this is more than words. This is a secret. This is your healing. Let me take you back gently to a moment that may feel familiar, like you are 7 years old again, maybe younger. You are standing in the hallway or your room, or maybe sitting at the edge on your bed after being set apart. You are confused. You feel like you did something seriously wrong, but you don't even know what was it. Your chest is tight. Your eyes are burning. But you have already learned to hold back the tears, because crying made it worse, because showing your feelings wasn't safe, because someone told you, "Stop being dramatic, you are just too sensitive. Don't make things worse. Everyone is fine. Just you can't get over it." So you swallowed your pain, and in that moment, something deeper than emotion broke. A belief that maybe you weren't lovable after all. Maybe you were too much. Maybe you didn't deserve to be held, or heard, or hugged. That moment became a seed. And that seed grew roots in the dark corners of your identity. And you didn't even know it was happening because you were just trying to find a reason to survive. But hear me now. None of that was your fault. None of it was a reflection of your worth. You didn't cry too much. You were hurting. You weren't dramatic. You were desperate to be protected. You weren't weak. You were carrying too much alone. And you were just a child, a beautiful, sensitive, radiant child who deserved the safety, deserved the softness, deserved to be nurtured and held and understood. And most powerful truth is this: it's not too late. It's not too late to come back to that child, to meet her, to right where she is, in the memory, in the ache, in the silence, and say what no one said. I'm here now. I believe you, and I'm never going to leave you again. You see, your inner child doesn't need to be perfect. She doesn't need to have it all figured out. She just needs you to show up. She needs you know that someone finally sees her, that someone finally cares about how she feels, what she feared, what she went through. Because what you went through mattered, and it left a mark, not just in your story, but in your nervous system, in your emotional patterns, in the way you love and trust and tried to belong. That's why healing your inner child isn't just about journaling or therapy or reading books. It's about coming home. It's about walking back into the memories. Not to relive the pain, but to reclaim what was always yours, your tenderness, your self-worth, your truth. It's about learning to hold yourself the way you always need to be held, with no judgment, with no conditions, with love. And if right now you are thinking, but I don't know how, that's okay. Start here. Start now. Take a breath. When you breathe in, count 1 to 4, and count to 1 to 4 again when you breathe out. Make it as slow as possible. Like this. Breathe in. And breathe out. And repeat. Put your hand on your heart. Feel it beat. That is life. That is your sign that you are still here, and that healing is possible. that the damage didn't destroy your soul, that the pain didn't erase your light, that underneath all the scars and survival strategies, you are still whole. You were never broken. You were simply wounded, and the wounds can't heal. Maybe no one asked you before, but I want to ask you now. What did you need to hear as a child? Was it I love you? Was it you are safe now? Was it okay to feel sad? Was it just someone looking into your eyes and saying, "You matter"? Whatever it was, say it now. Whisper it to yourself. Say it out loud. Write it in your mind. Let it rise. Let it be spoken. Because there is something sacred about giving your inner child the words she never heard. It's not pretending. It's repairing. It's rewriting the story with compassion. I want to share something with you, something I call emotional permission. You are allowed to grieve what you didn't get. You are allowed to feel angry for what was unfair. You are allowed to say, "That wasn't love." You are allowed to cry for the child who had to act strong just to find a reason to survive. And you are allowed to rest now, to put the weight down, to stop performing. You don't need to prove your worth anymore. You never had to. You were born worthy, born radiant, born enough. There is something holy about this kind of honesty. When you stop pretending you are fine, when you let the ache surface, when you stop apologizing for your sensitivity and start honoring it as a sacred. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your campus. It's the part of you that still feels, still cares, still knows about there is something more than survival. And maybe, just maybe, that part of you, the tender part, is the doorway home. There is something sacred about finally turning inward after a long, long time of satisfying outward. You spent years trying to earn love, prove worth, and hold everything scattered particles together from so young. But what if love was never something you had to earn? What if your worth didn't need defending? What if the one you have been searching for has always been you? Carl Jung once said, "In each of us, there is another home who we don't know." That part of you, the one who aches in silence, who gets triggered in ways you can't explain, who feels abandoned even in a crowded room. That part is your inner child. She is not hidden because she's broken. She's hidden because she was not welcome. And when the child is not welcome in the world, she retreats inside and waits for the adult self to come back and find her. That's the journey you are on now. Not one of self-improvement, but self-remembrance. You are not becoming someone new. You are coming back to who you were before the world told you to be smaller, quieter, less emotional. You are reconnecting with the innocence, the nature, the beauty that was once untouched by helplessness. The frequency of emotional pain is heavy. It lives in the body as tension, in the breath as holding, in the mind as self-doubt. But the frequency of love, that's what heals. It's lighter, it's softer. It moves like water over old wounds. You don't have to carry this anymore. You are not just changing your thoughts. You are shifting your energy. You are moving from survival to presence, from dissociation to embodiment, from fear to trust. And that shift is not loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's just a single breath, a tear that finally falls, a moment of stillness while you finally feel safe in your own skin. Maybe for the first time in your life. You don't have to rush. The child inside of you is not asking for perfection. She's asking for presence. She's asking if it's finally okay to speak, to cry, to say how deeply it hurt to not be seen. And your job is not to fix her. It's to listen, to welcome, to wrap her in the gentleness she's always needed. You can start by sitting in silence, placing your hand over your heart, saying softly, "I'm listening now. You can tell me everything." Not with pressure, not with expectations, but with the same stillness a mother gives when she sits beside her child in the dark, whispering, "You are not alone. You are not alone." Sometimes that's all we needed as a child. Not solutions, not discipline, just someone to hold the space for our emotions without trying to change us. That is the gift you now give to yourself. Maybe the greatest grief of your life wasn't just what happened to you, but what it made you believe about yourself. That you are hard to love, that your needs were a burden, that your feelings were dangerous, that you had to earn your place. But all of those were lies, born from pain. And pain is not truth. Pain is a signal. It's your soul's way of saying something precious was not honored here. And now you are honoring it. I know the journey feels long. I know you are tired. Sometimes the grief hits you like a wave out of nowhere. And all the strength you have built feels like it slips away in seconds. But the strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is the willingness to meet your pain with love, to stay, to breathe, to speak kindly to yourself when the old voices return. You are not weak for hurting. You are wise for finally listening. There is a moment in every healing journey when you meet the child within and time bends. You are no longer separate. You are not watching your pain from afar. You are sitting beside it. You are holding her hand. You are saying, I know this hurts, but I'm not going to leave you forever. And something in your body softens. The door opens. The unworthiness begins to loosen its grip, because unworthiness can't survive in the presence of true love. You begin to see that healing isn't about becoming someone others will finally accept. It's about becoming someone you can finally accept. You begin to understand that you are not a problem to be fixed. You are a soul to be loved. And love, my dear, is a frequency. It's not just the words. It's a vibration that moves through your body, shifts your cells, rewrites your nervous system. When you sit in love long enough, real, gentle, safe love, your entire being begins to exhale. The muscles unclench, the breath deepens, the heart says, maybe I don't have to brace myself anymore. This is the inner child healing. This is the vibrational healing. This is the return to yourself. Carl Jung said, Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. And how true that is. So many of your reactions, your overthinking, your fear of rejection, your emotional flashbacks, they weren't flaws. They were your inner child screaming through your life, asking you to notice her. And now you do. Now you pause before reacting. Now you soothe yourself when the spiral begins. Now you offer compassion when you feel triggered. That is growth. That is consciousness. That is you finally becoming the loving parent the inner child never had. It doesn't happen overnight, and you don't need to rush. This isn't a race. This is a return, and returns are slow, gentle, sacred. Every time you choose self-compassion over self-criticism, you are coming home. Every time you validate your feelings instead of silencing them, you are coming home. Every time you speak softly to the part of you that still trembles when she's not understood, you are coming home. And home, dear one, was never a place. Home was always a presence, love, God, you. The vibrations integrating your mind. So here we are, not at the end, but in the middle of a sacred remembering, a divine repairing, a spiritual awakening to the truth that you were never meant to live disconnected from your heart. You are learning to hold the pain without becoming it. You are learning to feel the sadness without drowning it. You are learning to feel the sadness without drowning into it. You are learning to grieve without guilt, to cry without shame, to rest without proving your worth. And in doing so, you are healing not just for yourself, but for generations before you and after you. You are changing the frequency of your lineage. You are becoming the mother and the father of your inner child always needed. You are speaking the words your ancestors never heard. You are living the truth that healing is not selfish, it's sacred. Take a breath. Let that settle. Let it land in your soul like a warm light. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are healing. You are remembering. You are coming home. There is a moment somewhere along the path of healing. The fear of being too much or never enough. You reach your hands inside the dark parts of your story, and instead of hiding from them, you begin to gather them gently, like fragile pieces of something sacred. And for the first time, you say, I don't have to hate these parts of me anymore. I can meet them with love. That is the miracle of healing. Not that the past changes, but that your relationships to yourself changes. You stop seeing yourself through the lens of what happened to you, and start seeing yourself through the lens of truth, divine, radiant. Let that settle. Let it land in your soul like a warm radiant. This is the miracle of healing. Not that the past changes, but that your relationship to yourself changes. You stop seeing yourself through the lens of what happened to you, and start seeing yourself through the lens of truth, divine, radiant, compassionate truth. You are not your wounds. You are the one who survived them. You are the one who is choosing love over fear, and that is holy. You've carried so much in silence, but silence isn't your truth anymore. Now, you are learning to speak, not to the world necessarily, but to your own soul. You are giving yourself what no one gave you. Understanding, patience, validation, time, and most of all, presence. You are rewriting the story. You are no longer the child who had to be good so others won't leave. You are no longer the teenager who silenced herself so she wouldn't be judged. You are no longer someone who had to earn every ounce of affection. You are you, free to feel, to rest, to speak, to be. And as you soften, you may begin to notice something beautiful. The energy inside you starts to shift. You cry, and it doesn't scare you. You feel emotions, and you don't run from them. You speak boundaries, and you don't shrink it in guilt. This is frequency walk. This is the shift Carl Jung described when he spoke of the integration of the shadow. When the rejected parts of you are finally brought back into the light, you are no longer abandoning yourself, and that changes everything. You are stepping into a relationship with your inner child, where she is no longer exiled. She is welcome not as a broken piece of your past, but as a sacred piece of your wholeness. She is the key, the artist, the dreamer, the heart of you. With your permission, I want to read something now. A letter, one that you may never have received, but one that your soul has needed all along. Dear little one, I see you now. I see the way you try to be brave, even when you were scared. I see how you smiled for others when no one smiled for you. I see how you stayed quiet, thinking that maybe silence would keep you safe. I see the tears you held back, the joy you dimmed, the dreams you tucked away so they won't get laughed at. I want you to know it wasn't your fault. Not the yelling, not the neglection, not the way they didn't show up. You were never too much. You were never a burden. You were just a child asking to be loved. And I'm sorry no one gave you that the way you deserved. But I'm here now. I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to hide anymore. You don't have to be strong anymore. You can be messy. You can cry. You can laugh loudly and want things and feel deeply. I will hold you through the storm. I will listen when you need to speak. I will protect you when old fears come back. I will remind you again and again that you matter. Not for what you do, but for who you are always. You are safe now. You are loved now. You are home with all my heart. Your future self. Breathe that in. Let it land softly. Let it echo inside the places that used to be filled with silence. This letter was never meant to be a one-time thing. You can return to it anytime. Rewrite in your own words. Speak it aloud when the ache comes back, because your inner child doesn't need you to be healed. She needs you to be honest, present, and kind. And if your soul is ready, I want to offer a prayer over you now. Not a religious performance, just a soft invitation, a moment of stillness, a spiritual covering over your heart and the heart of the child within you. Heavenly Father, thank you for never leaving us, not in confusion, not in the silence, not in the pain. Thank you for seeing every child whose tears went unnoticed, whose voice was silenced, whose heart was wounded before it ever had a chance to grow. You saw it all, and you loved us through it. God, I ask now for your healing presence to rest upon this beautiful soul. Let your peace fill the places where fear once lived. Let your truth wash away the lies they were taught. Let your arms wrap around the child within them, who still feels afraid to trust, afraid to be seen. Remind them that they are not broken. They are becoming whole. That their sensitivity is a gift. that their tears are not a weakness, that their story, no matter how painful, is not beyond redemption. Give them the courage to feel, to rest, to forgive, to hope again. And most of all, let them know that your love is the home they've been searching for all along. Let this be the beginning of a new relationship within you, with your inner child, and with the sacred self you created them to be. Amen. Stay with me just a little longer here. Let this be your moment of rest. Let everything you have just heard begin to settle into the deepest layers of you. You are healing. And healing is not a straight line. It's a spiral. Some days you will feel powerful. Some days you will feel fragile. Both are part of your journey. What matters is that you keep choosing love over resent, grace over fear, truth over silence. And you don't need to rush. You are allowed to be exactly where you are. What you are doing is not small. It's not invisible. Every moment you spend nurturing your inner child, you are rewriting a generational story. Every time you pause to breathe instead of react, you are breaking a cycle. Every time you speak gently to yourself instead of with shame, with sadness, with helplessness, you are reclaiming something sacred. You are not just healing yourself, you are healing on behalf of the little girl who never got to feel safe, the teen who thought they had to be perfect. And that work is divine. As we close this sacred time together, hold this truth in your heart. You were never broken. You didn't deserve the pain, but you do deserve the healing, and it's happening right now. Every tear, every breath, every whisper of self-love is all a part of your coming home.